Hey everyone, welcome to Northern Strain Style, and today we're talking about the Deps Slide Swimmer 250, the big bait, the big glide bait, and man, I'm kicking myself for not picking this bait up earlier. Awesome bait, super easy to work. The only problem is you have to have a rod made for this bait because she's heavy to throw, and your hookup ratio will be a lot better than what I experienced throwing the old musky rod. And you can work this glide bait a lot faster than a lot of other glide baits. You know, you don't have to be so slow with your reel turn and half turns. That's what I noticed anyway, and man, it gets bit. And I was feeling a lot of little ticks when I was working this bait in between these cabbage clumps. And once I figured out that those little ticks were bites, then I would start to vary my retrieve. You know, I'd do half turn, and then let the bait slide out. And then, bam, I could get bit or, you know, just speed up the retrieve. Helped a lot too. And I'm going to break down a little bit how I'm catching them here. So the sailboat, that's where I'm positioning the boat. And then these lily pad clumps, well, it's late fall and they started to die off. But there's all this green cabbage scattered in between them. And the bass were hiding down in these cabbage clumps. So I would cast from shallow to deep. Here's just what it looks like on the Navionics, and just a real gradual bay. But this is the last green weed. So I'm casting shallow to deep, and I would bring it through these cabbage clumps. And man, every time the bass would come out and either hit it or follow it just to check it out, because the movement on this glide bait, man, it's got the most beautiful curve retrieve, and man, you can get this bait to blow out 3 feet when you let it slide out, and you can get it to turn back to them with a little nod tip of the rod. And man, I've been working on this late fall glide bait for, man, quite a few years, and I was always hesitant to use the 250. I was using the Roman Made Negotiator, was the one I was mainly using through the years, and this was one of my favorite spots on using that bait. I would get crushed through here, and I'll break it down once those photos come up. But yeah, I caught more fish and had more followers on the 250 than I ever had with the 175 through the years. I'm not even playing with the 175 anymore. I'm putting that one away and only using the 250. And I'm mad now because I got to buy a rod for it. And the 867 Dobbins, man, she ain't cheap. But with that stiff rod I was using, I was just ripping the bait out of their mouth most of the time. So I'd put the boat right up against this reed point, and off the reed points were all these cabbage clumps. And man, again, casting from shallow to deep, and I would cast the bait past the reed clumps and then bring it back in through it, and you could almost like glide the bait around the clumps. You know, it was super sweet, but it was kind of like a choke point here too, with the reeds to the one side and the shallow water. And then here I rednecked a little underwater footage to get a little bit better idea of the weeds I'm going through. So it's super late fall. These are the last green weeds available, and the fish have been out deep, kind of waiting for that high 40 degree mark before the bait fish start to push up shallow again. And once they do, they just congregate in these last weed clumps. And man, the number of fish I was pulling out, 4 to 5 fish following this bait. And that's the best view I could get of it. For some reason, I put the camera in and they didn't. They shied away from the boat all of a sudden. But yeah, awesome time of year to go out and throw the glide bait around. And again, I'm going to say, man, go big. Instead of going small, go big, because you're going to get so much better action from the bait and the drawing power of the bait. Man, this bait, it's the hot chick at the party, man. Everybody's got to check it out. And it was very eye-opening, all the follows and the reaction of the fish I got from this bait, and caught some nice pike on it too. And that's the episode, guys. Thanks for watching.